Good evening. I'm John Batchelor. This is The John Batchelor Show. I'm welcoming to my studio two co-hosts this evening, Patrick Chovanec of Silvercrest Asset Management, who's a veteran and is here to help us on the American economy and the international economy. Patrick, a very good evening to you.
Great to be with you.
Thank you for joining me. And our first-time co-host, Liz Peek of Fiscal Times, joins us here in studio. Liz, isn't this easy? You just talk right into the microphone. Good evening, Liz.
And it doesn't talk back.
Right, very close to the microphone, Liz.
Yes,
right on
okay.
top. Yeah, there she is. Thank you very much. It doesn't talk back. We don't need to look at each other. We will talk our way through this. And the first thing we're going to do is to go to Martha's Vineyard, because we're very pleased to welcome Jeff Mason, the White House correspondent for Reuters, who, Jeff, a very good evening to you. I understand it's been raining and it's chilly, and what you'd have to say right now with Martha's Vineyard is not a vacation land at all. Jeff, I welcome you to the show. The president is on downtime. He's playing golf. He's enjoying himself. But next week, he's leaving for a bus tour, an economic bus tour. How is the White House presenting this, Jeff? Is this a pivot to jobs? Are they going to use that metaphor again? Good evening to you.
Hi there. It's nice to hear you. I think that the jobs message is obviously going to be one that they push for quite a long time. You may have heard or seen that next week the president is going on a bus tour on Thursday and Friday. So, it's interesting. Over the 4.5 years that Obama has been in the White House, there's always been this discussion of a pivot to jobs. And he's pivoting again. It's something he cares a lot about, and I think we'll be hearing about it a lot.
Well, if this was early in the first term, you can understand him pushing jobs as a message, but it kind of cuts both ways then, doesn't it? If he's still talking about jobs, he's kind of implicitly admitting that the jobs market is poor.
Well, you have to look at the data. Unemployment has gone down significantly, particularly recently. So the White House can argue that some of the programs and policies that they have pushed and backed have had an effect. On the other hand, unemployment is still high. It's not nearly where they want it to be. And so, yes, it is an admission to some extent that it's not, it hasn't been as successful as they would like it to be. And he also, this is the president who spent the entire 2012 campaign talking about jobs, talking about the middle class. And then the first 6, 7, 8 months of his second term have been dominated by other issues. So the White House wants to gain control of that narrative again, and even if it suggests that they haven't done as much as they need to do, they want to show that they're working on it now.
Do you think there'll be any new programs or ideas presented, or were we going to hear a sort of a rehash of the last pivot when he went to various sites and had a couple of new ideas sort of presented that dependent on monies coming in from tax reform and other things like that?
I think there probably will be some new ideas. We heard in his most recent trip, which was part of this jobs tour, he talked about housing reform and reform of Fannie and Freddie, which are the housing mortgage giants. I think the White House has decided they're going to sort of drip out little bits of news and little bits of new policy ideas during each of these trips. So I think we will see new ideas. That said, I don't think you'll see massively new ideas, because if there were sort of a silver bullet on how to increase employment and really solve this jobs problem, we would have seen it ages ago. So I don't think anyone should expect major new policy announcements, but I think the White House will try to trip out some new ideas, partially to get attention for it, and also because they want to show that they're actually trying to do something.
Jeff, I welcome you to the show. This is the first opportunity I've had to speak to you, so forgive me if I'm direct here, but we're speaking of the Affordable Care Act later in this program, and it's on the minds of everyone now appraising the health exchanges as they're set up nationally and in states such as Colorado. There are very few states setting them up, and they're working very hard. Does the White House press office speak of the Affordable Care Act every day? I noticed today that the White House put a Twitter message out saying a year from now, you won't be able to be turned away with a pre-existing condition. Are they giving out little remarks like that every day to the media traveling with the president?
Well, no, not every day. And I'm traveling with the president right now in Martha's Vineyard, and honestly, it's been fairly quiet the last few days. They obviously have a robust social media presence, and that's why you see stuff on Twitter, as you just mentioned. And clearly the Affordable Care Act is a huge story and a huge issue for them coming up in the next couple months and with the October deadline especially. But no, we don't hear about it every day. They do have somebody who works on it intensely, and that, if we have questions, we can check in with that person. But, healthcare is obviously a huge issue, but there are a lot of huge issues that are coming out of the White House right now and that they are dealing with, from the economy, like we just talked about, to healthcare, to national security and foreign policy and immigration. So it's, every day is a new day and every day is a new issue.
All right, Jeff, just a detail here then. This is a downtime for everyone. The president's on holiday. The reason I was happy to talk to you tonight on Martha's Vineyard, the president, he's enjoying himself and he's relaxing. Are they also doing politics, or is this an unnecessary inquiry in August?
Well, he's on vacation.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna there's not gonna be a press conference this week. There was one last week, as you know, right before he left for vacation. There haven't been any briefings so far for reporters, although there will be one tomorrow. The president has a right to take some downtime. But as with any president, whether it's a Democrat or whether it's a Republican, you never have that much downtime, and even when you're on vacation, you're not really completely on vacation. You're still getting national security briefings. Susan Rice, his national security advisor, has traveled with him. His deputy chief of staff is here. Obviously, there's the entire press corps, like myself. So you never escape being president. But he's on vacation, so we're not. I don't think we or the American public are going to see a whole lot of him in public over the next few days.
Jeff Mason is the Reuters correspondent. He's at Martha's Vineyard. Last time I checked, it was 66 degrees, and it rained today. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy yourself in one of the most beautiful parts of North America. It's an island, sort of, off the coast of Massachusetts. Liz Peek of Fiscal Times and Patrick Chovanec of Silvercrest Asset Management are here. And while the president is enjoying his vacation, we're going to turn next to the major concerns that we have in our economy, in Affordable Care Act, and in trade with our partners in Asia and Europe. I'm John Batchelor. This is The John Batchelor Show.